Dolores has changed the world with her voice, and it's my honor to hand the mic over to her so we can all continue to listen. Dolores Huerta, everyone.
Thank you very much, Rebecca. Please give a big applause, okay? Our Attorney General of California. The people that came in, as someone said, and I just said to Rob, we wanted to hear about you, Rob, not about me. And it's so important to know that we have somebody in the state of California that really cares about people.
Okay.
He knows what our
Thank you.
communities of color have gone through. It's not always a very pretty picture. And somebody here that has the guts to go out there and make a difference, okay? Again, I want to thank Mari and Arturo and all of the committee here and everybody that's been here today to celebrate Larry Itliong. Larry Itliong, the first vice president of the United Farm Workers. And I'm going to give you all a little history lesson, okay? How did Larry Itliong get involved with our farm worker movement? Well, I do have to say that I have the great honor, and I will brag about it, that I organized Larry Itliong. So, before the United Farm Workers, Cesar Chavez and myself, we belonged to another organization called the Community Service Organization. And there were farm workers that had been killed in Stockton, some of the Bracero workers. So we started a farm worker chapter, and I was put in charge of that chapter. And so I formed an organization called AWA, Agricultural Workers Association. So I had an Okie organizer, I had a black organizer, I had a Mexican organizer, but hey, we need a Filipino organizer. So growing up in Stockton, California, I had a lot of my friends who were Filipino, and so everybody that I knew, I would say to them, I am looking for a Filipino organizer. And everybody gave me one name. You gotta find Larry Itliong. You gotta find Larry Itliong. So I found him. I found Larry Itliong. He was living in a place called Conway Homes. It was a new development of houses that they had built. And so I went to his home and knocked on his door, and I said, we are forming a group of farm workers, and I would like to see if you could help us. I had a house meeting with him, because that's the way that we organize in the farm worker movement, with Larry and his then wife. And so I was able to get him to join. So Larry helped me, and with our other organizers, we were able to organize quite a large group of workers. We had a couple of hundred farm workers. So we had some, I'm trying to make the story shorter, but we had some priests that were helping us, and they went to Washington, D.C., and they talked to the head of the AFL-CIO, George Meany. And so they sent a representative down to see if we really had some workers organized. And when they saw how many people we had, they were very, very impressed. Not only, in our farm workers, we had an integrated group. We had the Mexican workers, the Filipino workers, the Anglo workers, the Okie workers also, and of course the Mexicans. So they sent an organizer out there, and we set up an organization called AWOC, Agricultural Workers Organizing Committee. So our committee, AWA, became AWOC. So I was in charge of doing some of the hiring. So all the people that have been helping me, the volunteers, we hired them. So we hired Larry, along with some of the other organizers.
Places like Delano have the power in them to change the world. In Delano, yes! If Delano in 1965 could be ground zero for what became a global movement for justice, Poplar will be ground zero for a global movement for social justice today. Some people might feel like Larry's recognition, whether it's been his recent naming to the California Hall of Fame or in this dedication of the center, comes late because it's been over 50 years since the Delano grape strike. And it's been even longer since he started organizing in the fields, but I believe this is the right time. We need the kind of bold and brave organizing Larry represented and practiced. We need the liberatory, transformative change-making that is being done by the CVEA in Larry's name, now more than ever. The CVEA has the principle of racial solidarity, interracial solidarity, at its very, very core. It weaves together the histories and struggles of Filipinos, Mexicans, and Yemeni farm workers. It commits to removing the borders of separation that continue to be cultivated between them in their continuous fight for their rights as workers and as community members. CVAA also does the important work of honoring the fact that the land that we all occupy is stolen land, and thus worker and community organizing requires the acknowledgement of environmental justice and solidarity with Native peoples. That's what this is about. Though the books of Larry Itliong's past contributions still need to be written, and I guarantee you we're going to get those books written by this new generation of historians, the reality is the story of Larry Itliong has not yet concluded. It continues on right here, right now, in this place with all of us. We are the living legacy of Larry Itliong. As Manong Larry once said, everybody has equal rights and justice. You gotta make that come about. You gotta make that come about. They are not gonna give it to you. And the seeds being sown at this center is doing just that. It is making justice come out. Its work will be history making for the people of this region and far, far beyond. Yes, that's it. That's all of my remarks. ¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede!
Sí se puede.
¡Sí se puede!
Sí se
¡Sí
puede.
se puede! ¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede! ¡Mabu, mabu, mabu! ¡Hay, hay, hay! ¡Mabu, mabu, mabu! ¡Hay, hay, hay! ¡Mabu,